How do you wind a Longcase clock? Have you ever wondered how to keep a Longcase clock, also known as a grandfather clock, ticking away beautifully? These stunning timepieces are not just decorative, they requiring regular maintenance to function properly. Winding a Longcase clock is essential for its operation, and it is a straightforward process once you know how. Let's break it down step by step. First, you need to access the clock face and weights. Open the front door of the clock case to reveal the dial and winding points. Depending on the model, there are usually 2 or 3 winding holes. These correspond to the clock's timekeeping, striking, and chiming functions. Next, identify the winding mechanism. Longcase clocks can have either cable-driven or chain-driven movements. For cable-driven clocks, you will use a winding crank or key. Insert this into each winding hole on the dial. For chain-driven clocks, you will gently pull down on the free end of each chain to raise the corresponding weight. If you have a cable-driven clock, insert the crank key into a winding hole and turn it slowly, usually in a counterclockwise direction. This action raises the weight attached to the cable. Stop winding when you feel resistance, which indicates that the weight is at the top. Repeat this process for each winding hole, but do not force the crank beyond this point to avoid damaging the clock. For chain-driven clocks, pull down gently on the shorter side of the chain to raise the weight. It is important not to lift the weights by hand, as this can cause the chain to slip or jump teeth on the winding gear. To protect the brass finish on the weights and chains, consider wearing cotton gloves or using a soft cloth. Avoid common mistakes while winding. Always use the crank or pull the chain, never lift the weights by hand. It is best to wind the clock at the same time each week to maintain consistent operation. When winding, do so gently and avoid rushing to prevent mechanical stress. After winding, close the clock door carefully. If the pendulum has stopped, gently start it swinging again. Listen for an even tick-tock sound, which indicates that the clock is balanced and running properly. If the clock runs too fast or slow, adjustments to the pendulum length can help regulate its speed. Regular maintenance is just as important as winding. While winding keeps the clock running, having a professional clockmaker service, it helps preserve its antique value and mechanical integrity. In the world of antiques and collectibles, knowing how to wind a Longcase clock is essential. Proper winding ensures that the clock remains functional and maintains its condition. Handling the clock with care during this process is vital for preserving its original components and finish, which are important to collectors. So, whether you have a Longcase clock in your home or are considering adding one to your collection, understanding how to wind it properly is key to enjoying its beauty and craftsmanship for years to come.